Well, we got another one of those weird, crazy videos, everybody. No joke, everybody. The Master of Tacos, I'm a big fan. Insert fanboy moment here. I love it. I love it. So this guy wanted to do a bucket list item. He wanted to buy out a cheap reserve list rare with a smallish printing. This guy decided upon Diamond Kaleidoscope from Visions. Why Diamond Kaleidoscope? It's reserve list rare. It was cheap at the time. Dang, you only paid 30 cents a piece? Holy smokes, that's crazy. It's at least vaguely playable. He uses it in his Arkham deck, some Commander deck. I'm not familiar with that deck, but I don't know how to play Magic the Yu-Gi-Oh! It does something unique, which makes creature tokens that can be sacked for mana of any color. My count is only the 3 cards that can do that. The print run is at least somewhat limited. Only has 1 print run, small expansion, Visions. Proceed to buy all the copies of this card from TCG Player, online vendors, United States and Canada, taco stands, and everywhere I could get it. It was fun. I attained what I would suggest is very likely the largest collection of this card. To my amusement, this card has spiked to the point that the market price is over $9. Needless to say, this is lovely, and the last time we checked, my local bank isn't interested in trading it for cash, Bitcoin, or any other consideration. Eventually, I said to myself, you know, who do I know that would love owning a full position of Diamond Kaleidoscopes? So then I thought maybe Rudy would be interested. Glad to see you were interested, and I'm pleased to provide you with the opportunity to acquire this near Power 9 level purchase. Power 9. Thank you, Dr. Lucien, player since 1994. Okay, so yes, it is true, folks. I bought out this evil, crazy investor from Mars floating around in a Tesla vehicle. 502 copies of this reserve list card. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I broke it down. We did the deal here. Some are near mint, some are light play, some are MP, few heavy play. This is the card, folks, for those of you not familiar with it. First thing, I do love the art, though. This was a card I always really, really loved. Who's the artist? Ron Spencer. I always was a fan of the artwork, though. I'll be very blunt about that. I love the art. I knew exactly what card it was because I actually remembered the arts, but I didn't remember what the card did back in the late 90s. But the art was very weird. It's special. So, and yes, forward cast, drop it in the field, causes a 3 activation to tap it every time. Again, you do have to tap it each time, so you can only pop out 1 per turn unless you can untap it. You pop out an 0/1 creature. And of course, you can sack these little prism tokens. And of course, you can get 1 mana of any color, uses a mana source. That's the card. So it's unique. I don't know if I can really consider this an amazing card, but I really liked a weird opportunity to own something weird like this. Okay. So we have 502 copies of this thing. Oh my goodness. I don't really have any set plans, but it's just one of these situations where, you know what? I'm going to give you my perspective. The guy paid 30 cents. We ended up agreeing, I paid the guy probably 10x his money. In the open market, he says $9 a card. I haven't checked by the time this video goes live, and maybe a little higher, maybe a little lower. This is one of those things I'm going to lock up in the Rudy Vault and just have a position. Similar to that, what was that one we did before? There was one on Second Chance, where it was a couple hundred copies. The Silex, which was reserve list from Antiquities, was a couple hundred copies. I run into these things. These type of transactions do take place probably once every 3 months. I get kind of an investor wanting to just unload the whole thing because you run into weird things. And this is what I caution. Now, again, this guy made money. Hey, I can't bash him. He made money in a short period of time. He multiplied his original principal by many times in less than a couple years. You can't really bash the guy. He made money. It was a success. It is what it is. I'm not really looking to make money or flip it. I just like the idea of owning something bizarre. And there you go. So let's really honestly talk about it. 30-cent card. If you're into this card, let's say $10 if you buy today in the open market. Let's say it's a $10 card now. Does it have a lot of room to really grow, or is easy money been made? Is there really a future for this kind of stuff? Even though I bought it and I have a big position in it now, I really cannot tell anyone that I honestly think there's a lot of room for this to grow. I'm very skeptical. I'm kind of bearish, but I was really mostly excited about doing a video on it and really just kind of sharing really weird transactions that I get involved with. It is possible that over, another 1, 3, 5, 10-year time period, it could become a $20, $30 card. Now, the cards like this are going to be very limited. See, these weird cards have weird pros and cons that are attached to it. Like, let's explain the Bullish case. So why this card could go to $20, $30 one day is, yes, the individual is correct. It is this card from Visions. Visions was not a heavy printed set. It is reserveless, so the supply is capped of what's already out there from what year was Visions? 98, 99? 96. Oh, God, wow. Really? 96? I thought 4th edition was 95. How was Visions 96? Really? That seems kind of weird. So here's the thing. With it being reserveless and no additional copies, with it being what I like to call a rags to riches type card, where back in the early days of Magic, this card never had value, ever. People would open it in a pack and be like, oh crap, this sucks, and they would trash it. It was one of these cards, since it never had value, it wasn't something people really held on to. They would get thrown in bulk bins, especially since back in the day, remember, old Magic cards, the set symbols are not colored. So it was very difficult for the average player and the average noob to even understand if this was a common, uncommon, or rare. Most people looking at the card who are not very inexperienced are going to assume it's an artifact, so therefore it's not a common, because back in the day in the 90s, artifacts historically were not printed at all in the common slot. They were, but it was just not very common. There were not very many common artifacts. So historically, cards like this, most people would see it in a bulk bin and think, it's just an uncommon. Now, of course, since it's reserve list, that tells me immediately it is a rare. So those are some bullish things. The fact that it would never had value, was always trash, there's no set indicator telling people it's rare. There are good, positive, pro things to argue in that direction. Now, the other side of the coin, the card went from 30 cents to, he claims, $9. Let's just go with the $9. How is this card going to go to $20, $30? Honestly. Okay, Creepy Rudy's got 500 copies from an investor buyout. Okay, what does that really do for me? Even if I want to see what you learn, and this guy probably already tried, what you learn is if you try to sell this card to a big store, a Channel Snowball, a flying card castle with really awesome stuff next to the Snow City games, what you'll learn is, sure, these will be on the buy list, but the price is probably not even going to be $1. Maybe it's $1. They're not willing to raise the buy list to solidify the price increase, at least at this point in time. So because of that, even if they raise the buy list one day, because there's actual demand, or they need it, or they sell out, or there's people asking for it, even if they raise the price, keep in mind, they're going to put a limit of how many you can sell. The average store, like if you go to Channel Snowballs and really awesome things, Troll, Toad, and Snake games, you know what I'm saying? You go to these big companies, even if you have a position like this and you try to sell it to them, they're going to cap you at usually 4, 8, maybe 10 copies. They're not going to allow you to unload a massive position at $10 a card. So you're going to learn very quickly, you're going to have to sell them on your own, you're going to have to be creative, and you're going to have to put some work into it. So this gentleman probably made the easy money. In my position now, I don't really have any easy money to make. But again, I didn't buy this to flip it. I'm not really buying it to make money. I bought it mostly for the video, to share the story, and I can't wait to see the hilarious comments below with Diamond Kaleidoscope. And I mean, come on, look at the flipping art, everybody. You get this flipping glowing eagle bird head man, crazy, like, dude, it's hilarious. Like, the card alone is like a meme to me. So I wanted to share the story. I'm very curious to see what people think. But overall, at the end of the day, I don't know. I don't know. I don't have a lot of confidence that cards like this in the future have a very big future ahead. I just don't think it does. And because of that, I think that we're really not going to be able to make a lot of money on cards like this. And I know people disagree with me and people want to go for the cheap stuff and all these things, but there's just points in life where some cards are going to have what they call efficient frontiers, and they're going to hit glass ceilings and all this crap where they're going to be very limited. Because if the last comment I want to make, let's pretend this card did go to $50. Why would you buy this card for $50 when you can buy, an Arabian Nights or an Antiquities, Mishra's, Workshop Summer Spring Edition? Why would you buy something like that? You have to put it all in relative terms. Same thing with Revise being $1,000 with single cards. If Revise has $1,000 cards, Power 9 can't be $2,000. So I want to lay that out there. That's all I have today. I hope you all learned something. What a cool little weird story. If you have anything weird to sell, reserve list, collections, evil investor, beautiful 3% young ladies, whatever you're into, Alpha Investments, LLC gmail.com. It is the only authentic way to reach me. Everything else is a scam. Have a great day, everybody.